Hey everyone, it's Chris Texera. Let's play another game of the Settlers of Catan on Catan Universe. We're in the 2 position. Let's take a look at this board. So this is one of those where I'm actually commentating. Didn't have the audio for this game, but again, I hate throwing away games when I don't have the audio for whatever reason. In this case, the microphone was a little bit screwy. So instead of wasting it, we're gonna just do a commentary of the game after the fact here. So, yeah, I'm looking at this 693 here. We're in the 2nd position again. If we can get that 639 with that wheat and that great ore position, that's really strong. Yeah, they take the 1083. Not bad. I think the problem with it is the wheat, right? Like, they could probably get a good wheat on the way back. But again, it's like, okay. I think instead of the 1083, I probably would have preferred the 1095 there, to tell you the truth. Because at least you get access to the 3-for-1 port, especially with the way they point it to the bottom right there. It doesn't really have good access to a port. So in this kind of situation, because of that, and you know how I am with wheat, I'm definitely looking at that 693 at the top or this 1059 at the bottom. Like, the difference is, which do I think is going to be better? What kind of game do we want to play, right? So I look at this and I'm like, well, the bottom 1059 is diverse. There's the 3 resources. There's good port access with the wheat and the 3-for-1 port. The problem is, on the way back, decent chance we're not going to get any ore. Whereas the 936 has good access to ore, great access to wheat, which are obviously pretty vital. The ports aren't that useful unless we get some major wood or brick. So again, that's pretty likely. Now, because of the way the board is set up, it's basically impossible for us to do a 5 resource game, right? Because unless we do, well, now it's gone. So the only option maybe we could have done would have been like that 5, 9, 12, and even then, you know, we're not going to do a 5 resource game with a 12 pip sheep down there. They take the 1059. I think that's a complete mistake pointing to the right. Point to the left. Point to the left. Go to the ports. Like, a 3-for-1 port would be great. The wheat port could be useful as well. Especially since, you know, that middle of the board very well might get taken. A lot of players make that mistake. They point to the middle of the board. So now look, now it's like, okay, you lose your opportunity. Because let's face it, that 6-5-12 was probably not going to be available because somebody was going to take that 6-5-11. And now with that right-facing road, like, you basically give yourself the 9-12, which I guess isn't bad, but way more valuable would be like the 3-for-1 port there, the 10 brick with the 3-for-1 port, or even the wheat port. I don't hate what Brown did there. Not crazy about what Blue did though. The 6-2 seems kind of like a stretch. Like, in that position, I actually think Blue should have taken, say, the 8-4-10. Because in the 8-4-10, like this 8-4-10 here, think about what a good position Blue would be in, right? Blue would be in like this awesome position where they could basically point to the brick port. They have an excellent road connection where they could just connect their roads. Like, going to be pretty hard to beat them, at least in the roads. And not to mention, if they can get to that 3-for-1 port, that's a big deal, right? So what this does, it opens up some interesting choices for us, because we could go 8-5, right? Do the ore port, the 8-4 sheep and wood. We could go on the 8-4-10 here. And in that case, why wouldn't we take that, right? Why wouldn't we take that? If we're going to get access to, say, the brick port, and we're going to get access to, say, that sheep, which is actually pretty, because of the way the board is set up, it's not a lot of people have access to that. That's kind of a big win. And with the number 1 player here, because of their first position being kind of limited, right? Like they're probably not taking the 8-3 because it's like, okay, I mean, they could. Seems pretty unlikely. Odds are that they go for a more diverse setup spot, right? So they kind of left themselves in like a tough spot here. But really, it's blue 6-2 on the ore that like opens up the entire board for us and really kind of gives us this great spot. Because man, if blue had taken that, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough to stop. Tough to stop. Yeah, they don't have a ore access, but that's not always a bad thing, especially if you have good ports. So yeah, especially since they're gonna be able to move. Yeah. I don't know. I really think blue kind of blunders here. I also think that it's a very strange, very strange call to take the 6-11 there. So why not just go for the 6-11-12 and point to the right? You score the extra sheep, which isn't bad. So you net an extra card, and either way, you're going for the 3 for 1 port. Because I mean, like you're getting the same amount of resources the other way, right? And with this position too, right, it kind of takes the possibility of away of another 6-3 location on that 3 wheat and the 3 wood. So it's kind of a curious decision that they decided to go 6-11 desert there. I really don't understand that. So yeah, we're getting some great rolls to take the game here. We'll take wood no matter what. Like wood for us is awesome. And, pretty nice to get cheap wood here because we're natural trading partners for like really all of these guys with the exception of blue. And blue gets some great rolls to start there. Getting that immediate city, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Our block's pretty obvious. We take that. We'll hit blue there. They got some goodies for us. We don't want them to get too far ahead. And I mean, where else are we really going to go? I mean, the 6 wood is another possibility, I suppose. Maybe the 10 ore, but wheat's just so important in Catan. Just like a no-brainer for us. Now, we're really open for some wheat here. Ideally, we want to get some cities or some cards. But at the same time, we're also looking, if we can get this this brick port up online, it would be nice. Now, again, you could run into the brick port trap, right? Where everybody's got a problem. But let's see. We're going to try to do a little trade here, I think. Yeah. So we're trying to get the extra ore so we could 4 for 1 for the wheat. And we do. We do that because we know like no one really has any wheat. So this is just like an easier way for us to go about it. Actually, yellow does have the wheat. It's just, and maybe I should have offered it to them. But we didn't have any brick, which is really what they needed. So maybe that was a little bit of a mistake on our part. We maybe should have tried to see if yellow there wanted it. Ultimately, I don't think it really matters. I mean, we'll happily take our city no matter what. But that was probably a small blunder on my part. A little bit of a surprise. A little bit of a surprise there for blue to get solo blocked. We're in the envious position of sharing that 9 wheat with brown. Like, I think in that case, if I'm blocking and I'm brown, I'm hitting our 6 ore all day because that's the mutual thing that both me and blue have in common. It's a high frequency roll. Why not? I mean, the wood, yeah, okay. Like, it's fine. I'm not going to complain about it, but I just think there's a better block there. That's the 6 ore. It does work out pretty well for them there, though, denying them of the wood. Surprisingly, we're trying to get a brick here, which seems silly. I think we realized that pretty early because we're the only people really with brick. So we're hunting for wood. I don't think there was any ore there. We probably would have usually have offered it for an ore just to see if we could have gotten a card. But again, because we're basically the only ones with good access to it, we're not exactly too concerned. So at this point, we're really going to hunt for some wood here. See if we can't get this 3-for-1 port. Now, some of those options are fine. Probably should have countered there. Maybe offered a wheat for an ore or something. Don't think they would have taken it. Let's see where yellow goes here. Oh, yeah. Yellow. Yellow. Wild. Wild. We get such a break. Such a break there. That's crazy. I think there's sometimes merit to doing that. But, man, I don't know. I don't know about doing that. I think you attack. I'm very attack-minded. I look at that and I'm like, man, that seems crazy to me. Because, I mean, just think of the resources you could be denying somebody. Instead, you're playing very nice, which, good for you, but that could be really costly. So, we'll see. Now there's 7. We would expect them to hit us probably on the 6 or the 9 here. But they hit nothing. They hit nothing. Wild. Especially in a game like this where it's 4-3-2-3, we're already up, and we're cracking here, and we're getting a card, and it's a knight. I mean, yeah, because you look at our position, right? We're in really good shape. We got a knight, we've got a great port, we've got access to all the resources except wood. We don't get hit here, which is nice. It does hit our 9, which sucks, but we got a lot of things going for us. We've got a potential road connection between our two. We already got the leg up on the army. We're really, really good shape. So there we go. Or brick for everybody. Yellow buys a card. We're going to play our knight. And unlike yellow, we're certainly going to hit somebody. And we do. We get a 10 there for a brick. I think I would port for a wood here. Yeah. Looking to see if we can't get a free one or a cheapy one. We do. We'll take that in this situation just so we can have another brick to potentially trade in case it 10 rolls. Or if the 8 rolls, we could just 3-for-1 it, or 2-for-1 it, excuse me. So yeah, that's like a nice little trick. Even though you have the 2-for-1 port, offer it sometimes. Maybe you get lucky, especially to a player like yellow who's a little bit behind the bar. And man, we're being really fortunate that we're not getting hit. In this case, blue has kind of dug themselves a bit of a hole, right? Because they went 6-2 and they don't have access to a port, they're desperately trying to get to that 2-5 or sheep port. Desperately trying to get there and beat brown there. Because, man, they're in a rough position otherwise, right? I mean, and this is where that blue settlement in the bottom there is a problem. Because if they had pointed to the left, right, think about how much better their position would be, right? They point to the left, 3-for-1 port, you can just 3-for-1 port your excess wood or brick or sheep or wheat, whatever. Now they've got to kind of struggle to get to this 5-2, and there's no guarantee they're going to get there. No guarantee. I mean, it looks like they'll get there at this point because they just have more cards, but that's a rough situation. That is a really rough situation for blue to be in, so I don't envy them. Yeah, yellow's kind of doing their own thing. And again, yellow, because blue's got to discard here. That's things. Yeah, blue. I mean, I do think the 8-5 is the better way to go with the ore port, but ultimately they have space, so their game's still fine. They just don't have any brick. That's their problem. So if they want to get to that cheap port, it's not going to be that easy. So we port here. We take our 2 brick for a city. Very nice. So in some circumstances, maybe I would have actually bought a card there. But in this case, with the game going as well as it is, there's really not a reason to. I think kind of going forward, we would probably look to buy cards. And again, inexplicably, we don't get hit. And again, the reason is because Brown is fighting for this 5-2 location. Sometimes you don't hit the winner even though you should, right? In this case, they're just fighting for position. Very, very slowly fighting for this terrible 5-2 spot. So we're catching a break here on all fronts. 100% on all fronts. Let's see. I think we're going to offer, I wonder if we offer, I almost wonder if I offer like a wood. Oh, we get the 1-for-1. Nice. What's this? It's not bad. I think about this. We actually take it. Yeah. We do this for the card. Yeah, we do it for the card. And I think, quite frankly, oh, eat the Monopoly. I think we're actually okay with Brown beating blue there. I mean, we're just cruising at this point. With the mono in hand, yeah, ouch. More bricks for us. There's 2 ore out there. And Brown takes that 3-for-1 spot. So I wouldn't be surprised if blue quits, to tell you the truth. I don't remember if they do. But like, they're in a tough spot now. Because like, what do you do? I think we take that. Yeah, we take that all day. If we can get to that wood port, get our 6 with the wood, yeah, and they give to us. Probably not the best decision on their part. They might want to ask for more, but we'll take it. Yeah, what do you do if you're blue here? I don't know. Blue's in a terrible position. Like, all because they chose one way. I think at this point, Brown is probably our biggest threat. Because if Brown can get to this 9-4-11 spot, they're not in bad shape. Oh, okay, yellow takes a city. Yeah, yellow's in this. Yellow's in this. We get a 9 here. We don't really need to do anything. We can just port, get our settle, and we're well on our way. At which point, yeah, blue quits. Not a surprise. Not a surprise. So now our game's pretty easy, right? What do we have to do? We could win this a couple of ways. We could potentially just get 4 cities and the road, 4 cities in the army and the road, right? So I mean, a lot of options. Man, I wonder, did we mono here? I mean, there's an argument to mono. They just got a ton. Oh yeah. Oh, we're totally monoing here. I mean, why wouldn't we? Mono for all the ore. That's just brutal. I think that's what, 8? Yikes. Brown quits. Yikes. Wow. Yeah, it's funny. I couldn't remember what wound up happening, but it's pretty obvious. Yep, we just take the double cities, 2 cities in a turn. That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. Honestly, I'm almost shocked. Yellow, spoiler alert, does not quit, which is honestly pretty amazing in its own right, that they don't quit. Because, man, I was thinking they might at this point, given that we had 4 cities were basically in control of this game. I almost wonder if Brown would have stuck around if they knew they had that 2 roll in there. Not that it particularly would have mattered, but yeah, we're looking at this now and we're thinking to ourselves, well, how do we win this game? We decided to go this. All right, I think we decided to go card here. So in retrospect, I think I would have done something else. I think I actually would have just built a road there. So instead of doing what we did, let me see though. I don't remember exactly what happens. Let's see. Yeah, we get an ore. Yeah, I think in retrospect, I think I actually just I get rid of everything else and just buy. Okay, we get a victory point. So yeah, but I think usually we just try to win as fast as possible, and we just take the one road pointing up there. I guess the only downside is if we do that, maybe yellow starts to try to beat us to the road. And again, there's an argument to be made that was the right call buying the card and just hoping it was a knight. Because now we got to kind of compete here, right? For the road potentially with brown and maybe with yellow. And the victory point is kind of a dead card at this point because we don't really need it to win. And, it's not like we're expanding very quickly. So our easiest route is either port and get another victory point, connect our roads, or just take the army. And of course, the army might not be as easy to take. Now, I think that's a huge mistake, what they just did. I really do. Because that basically opens up the 8, which is the more important resource for us. Because, think of it, right? I understand they need to stop us from taking the army. But, if you're going to do it, I don't know, hit something else. I think hit like the 10. Because what it did, I mean, again, it doesn't ultimately matter, but the 8's just such a better place for that robber to be because we can just port that ore, or port that brick, excuse me, do whatever we want with it. Do whatever we want with it, which is to build a road, which ultimately is what we need. And there they go. They hit us. They don't hit us. Oh my God. That's madness. I think at this point, they're just trying to have the game end. I don't know. Because to me, it's absurd that they don't hit me there. A lot of 7s here. My goodness. A lot of 7s. Yeah, we don't even bother taking from them because we're really just looking for the wood, which we knew that they didn't have. And this is our whole game plan here. Just try to connect these roads. End this game so we can call it a day. We can call it a day. All right. We get a ton of ore. We could potentially just buy a VP here if we don't get an 8 or a 10 or another 6. But we don't get hit again, which is just very funny. It's kind of weird, right? If you're gonna try to win, at least hit us. I don't know. I just think sometimes players give up. Now, in this case, yeah, it's pretty hopeless. But, maybe if they were a little bit more aggressive stealing from us earlier, maybe it could have been, I want to say, would have changed the game. Maybe they could have had a little bit better luck, and maybe they could have lasted a little longer. But as it is, I mean, really not much for us to do here. Just build one road, and that's it. And boom. About as easy as they come, that one. That was pretty easy. And again, we really kind of lucked out because of blue's kind of silly placements. Really, blue really screwed up on this one. That 6-2 is pretty questionable. But really, their road was the problem on the bottom resource. Yellow had a similar thing. I think their road not pointing up to that ore port was a mistake. It's kind of a weird game in that respect. But yeah, we crushed it here. We had 5 trades, all 4 cities. We built the city so quickly. We were only robbed 4 times too. We were able to control it. A lot of 7s. That didn't help. But very fast game, 24 minutes. So a lot of fun. Gotta love games like that. Kind of a very evenly distributed board too. But yeah, what a funny one. Again, I can't believe that no one took this 8-4-10 or that 8-4-3 where we wound up going on that 8-4-10. That's crazy to me. It was so wide open. It was ripe for the picking, and we took it. Man, oh man, am I happy we did. So we'll take it. Well, that was fun, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.